Yeah, there's the camera.
I've got both the mic, I got the audio and video on.
Okay. So,
You good?
No, that's not. Martinez.
You all set?
make sure they can hear us.
Dave, can you hear us? Okay. All right, we're going to call a meeting to order. This meeting's been posted where it's been supposed to be posted. We sent out a notice on the 12/9. We're establishing a quorum. You can't hear me?
You're talking too loud there.
No.
For the people in the back, we established a quorum. We got Dave Necessary online, Harold, Dan, myself. Chris can't make it because she's at a funeral. So we're all set to go. We have a quorum. We established a quorum. This is a discussion for the board members about the budget. Does anybody have any questions concerning the past proposed budget we have?
Nope. I would move that we accept the budget for 2026 as previously presented by email.
Have a second on that?
Second.
Dan seconded it. Dave,
Yeah, it went.
he says okay.
I have a question.
He said zip it.
But in terms of building a budget and adhering to a budget, are we looking at the last 2 or 3 years and finding the categories that we're always overspent in or not? And who approves overspending a category? I'm not saying we're doing anything wrong, because
No.
overall, we're winning. I'm just wondering what the discipline is, because I just got out of 4 years with Biden, and I'm thinking.
You want him back?
Willy-nilly overspent.
So
What's the process?
the process is we go from year to year looking at the budget.
Yeah.
If we've had something really outlandishly over or outlandishly under, we look at that and adjust from there.
All right.
We make those changes well, we're discussing a new board.
So,
New budget.
yeah, so overall, we underspent. There's 9 areas that we overspent.
And the overspending usually is
Who
when,
approves the overspend?
well, the board approves it, but it's something that pops up that we have no control over. Say certain repairs that popped up. You know, so we have, you have to approve it.
Yeah.
If that item goes over, the budget, basically the money in a budget, our budget is like a pooled money. It's a big pot of money.
Exactly.
So if we go over on one and we're under on another, that's why we're always ahead.
I guess what I want to offer is if you ever wanted to volunteer to document the process for ebbs and flows, overspent, underspent, I'm happy to help.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's what we do. We sit down.
Yeah.
We really looked at it this year heavily because of the Sears studies we had to adhere to.
Yeah.
And we, like I said, when something is over, it's some extenuating circumstance where it popped over.
Yep.
Insurance, the last 2 years before, the insurance just kept going up. They kept telling us, no, it's going to be this, it's not going to be that. And we budgeted a little bit more and it ends up going over. So then we made sure finally that we had enough money in there. And now they come back with, that.
Anyway, if it should not.
Yeah,
If
no.
you need someone else and document it, I'm happy to work.
Okay.
With Harold or whoever.
All right. Sounds good.
You got a motion and a second on the floor.
Second,
Any other discussion?
any other discussion on the board here? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Dave's
Dave's
aye.
aye. Okay.
Four ayes.
The budget is passed for 26.
Yep.
As it was presented at the last meeting.
And that was sent to us in an email?
Pardon?
Was that sent to us in an email then?
I believe it was.
The budget, yes.
Yeah.
Everything went out, yeah.
You had a meeting notice
Everything.
and an email. with,
Right. We sent it all out together. It was sent out, I believe, on, Around 12,
Right here.
oh, there you go.
Well, that, you have the finance report, but then there was
The announcement is with it.
this is,
Just like there.
you would have had, this is the announcement with the Zoom information, and behind it were the two
Was-
pages.
with Two
of
pages,
the
two
budget.
pages of budget,
Right.
So,
explaining everything, how the budget is and what we put into the budget.
Yep.
Okay.
so we still have one more month left. in the
One more
year.
month of this year.
And it's gonna be ending
You give,
tomorrow.
you want to give a quick little finance, we're up to date on
Okay,
everything?
I can do that.
We have one more month to go, which won't be documented until January.
But you were sent out the November 30th, finance report. We had an operating balance of 59,000 and change. We're still 4 units that, have not complied with their payments on the, special assessment for the dock. We've had as you have pointed out, we've had several lines that, have been overexpensed. Some of them as a result of things like the fire alarm control panel in this building here, fire alarm control panel in building 8, the sprinkler system piping valving that we had in building 9, all had to be paid for.
They all had to be replaced.
They had to be replaced, and it was taxed the savings that we could have had for the year just to cover that, because those were unexpected and unplanned. Now, I can say that when we get into the reserve planning that our contractor gave us, they've given us a schedule of things that are SERS related, structural integrity reserve studies, as well as non-SERS. That would be common elements to condo A, and common elements that are to building 10. So those are going to have to be taken into consideration going forward. And all of that stuff is addressed there that we didn't have line items for in our current budget.
Yeah.
So Barb and I are going to be, and Denny, get him in there, knocking our heads trying to figure out how we can compartment each one of these things, because the contractor didn't give us an exact amount that we need to componentize.
When he means contractors, means the engineer that did the study for
Yeah,
us.
right. But Harold, I'm happy that if you want someone on the team to help, I don't want to sit here and bitch. I want to help.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
please include me, right?
We'll keep you in mind.
Because I retired and I have absolutely nothing to do now. And I need to do something.
Well, you're not.
Hey, we can give you a lot to do. There's all kinds of projects around here.
But all in all, our finances as far as dollars, cash flow, we definitely are not in the red. We're in the green, and that makes my job a whole lot easier. Because I've had not-for-profit things that I've been on that you had to hold things to pay because you didn't have the money, and I had people had to make their payroll, and sometimes we had to ask them to hold their check. And that wasn't fun. But the guys here, the Barb is on salary from Stark, so we don't see her salary at all, but we do see our gate and the staff, the maintenance folks.
So someone, I heard someone over here say maintenance fees. Somebody said it. Somebody say maintenance fees or association fees?
They're the same.
Same thing.
992.
992 is this year,
Yeah.
and this coming year, the condo A, which is buildings 2, 6, 7, 8, and 9, goes to be 1,177, and building 10 is going to be 1,149. So-
Is that primarily driven by insurance costs?
Mainly
and
insurance.
surge,
Yeah.
and surge.
And basically, surge is what caused the
Yeah.
uptick. We do our budget, and we have to add that to whatever surge had told us. And then we re-examined surge, and we readjusted surge basically in the end, the state of Florida says you have to have this much money in your account.
Yeah, there's a criteria.
Yeah, they give you the criteria. You have to do this, this, and this. Well, after we looked at all that, we decided that
So
we know more than they
are there
know
levers-
about our
Yeah,
association.
are there levers that we control that can say, okay, the state says you gotta have this, but we're gonna drive these areas down? Like, do we have a plan that says,
Well, we did that as a plan amongst ourselves.
yeah,
Now
Yeah,
in the plan, the state says you have to have this much money at the end of December 31st. We believe we'll have that much money without making you guys pay more money.
We're already paying more. How much higher are we gonna go?
You can't,
we could afford $1,000.
I understand and believe me, I don't want to pay any more either. But this place is 40 years old. We just got hit by the sprinkler company. The elevator people. We have to change all the doors out on the elevator rooms.
Those maintenance rooms, not
Those
the
are-
elevator door.
Not the elevator door itself, the maintenance door that controls the elevator. They're all rusted
Yeah.
and we have to change them. And to change them, they have to take them out of the concrete. They're poured in concrete in the block wall. They got to chisel them out, put new ones in, pour no concrete, put a new door
so what I
in.
hear you saying is the regulatory requirements
Our cost.
causing
Yes.
our overspend.
And we have no control over that. So therefore, you can't expect the maintenance fees to stay the same all the time. You
Also,
cannot expect that.
Florida state law also says you can't raise them more than 15% per year.
Right.
And this is more than 15%.
This is according to the Florida statutes.
But you take certain things out of. Insurance comes out of that issue. There are certain line items that the state allows associations that come out of a budget. We are under the 15% when we go by the state.
If you
Compared
follow
to
the
what
state
you had
statutes,
last year,
we're under
where you are
15%.
The
But I mean, you've got your basics, your utilities.
But you don't, wait, my thought. So there's an algorithm, and within the algorithm, something is excluded from what she was saying, right?
Yes.
What is it? What's excluded?
The
They
insurance
take insurance out of it.
out of it.
That's the bulk of our cost.
Yeah, but they take that out of what causes you to be over 15%. That comes off of that, so that drops you way down. They're not stupid. They manipulate the thing the way they want.
And now they'll take the SERS out because that's mandated by government. So now you take those two components out
All
of
you
your
would-
budget and
All you have is what your maintenance.
You're left with things like find another elevator.
Yeah,
Like,
How is anybody ever going to buy in here, or anybody going to be able to sell their condos that want to move out? Nobody's ever going to be able to
no,
sell.
I believe me, we understand what you're saying, but it's out of our hands. We can't do anything about it.
Unless
The only thing we control here is what we spend on our property ourselves.
Unless we make the fees affordable for people to live in here, then nobody's ever going to be able to sell, and nobody's ever going to move in.
but the fees are based on what our costs are. So unless you address our costs, the fees aren't gonna change.
Exactly.
The
The only way-
Like a
yeah.
personal budget in your house, right? Like you have a certain amount of money you spend, a certain amount you come in.
Figure it out.
You gotta drive your costs down. And so the areas, that's what I was.
This year we worked on it like crazy trying to keep it down.
Yeah, what I'm saying is 9 areas that are overspent. If we don't have all 9 areas, could we avoid?
It started out being $1,400 to $1,500 that our costs were gonna be till these guys worked at it, these three right here, every day.
You would have been paying
And they got it down
$1,400.
to 1,100, like he said.
That's what you would have
That's
had.
right, nobody would have
you would've-
wanted.
that was
no.
4 weeks. We were about
Yeah.
4 weeks working.
Yeah.
Every day they worked on this budget to get it cut down to that.
So it is.
I even called and said, I can't stand this. You
Yeah.
can't let this happen. Myself, I called.
And they-
Next thing I know, they worked and worked and worked, and they got it down to the 1,100.
So I know
So
this
be
is a
happy.
workshop, but a gentleman 2 years ago had said, why don't we take all the land in back of building 2 and build another condo? And whole thing and kind of reduce our exposure to the $1,000 a month. And somebody said we can't do that, but I'm thinking, like, we gotta come up with something creative, right? Like building a new building.
You can't,
Put
they,
another 120
Right.
units.
they can't build any more buildings on this property.
Yeah,
It was signed off back in,
1980.
no,
It's 84.
Time to change it.
Was it 09?
I don't know when they created the TDU.
Yeah, we've got it. But when they were,
More buildings.
this was supposed to have 10 buildings on it.
Yeah.
And when they decided, the people at that time decided they didn't want any more buildings, they signed their rights away. And that's why we have the
Transferable density units.
Stupid number.
transfer, yeah, we have the units that we can sell. But we cannot build another building.
So we're kind of handcuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna roll over it and just keep spending more and more and more every year. It just feels like I'm not blaming anybody. This is us.
We are
walking in the
We are
kitchen.
fortunate. This Sears study that the state came up with has bankrupted a couple condominium associations. So far, we're good. That was one of our things that we looked at. We're saying, well, if we hold tight, we match the money by the end and hold tight, maybe they'll come to their senses and change some things.
Well, to your
They said they were going
It's
to,
really about if
but
you
they
want to
didn't.
sell it, who's gonna buy it?
Yeah,
So the fact
exactly.
that they said, they're gonna change it to a 6-story.
Yeah, and they did.
Before,
They didn't even bother.
so they haven't.
No,
So by us, this is giving us another year grace period to hopefully hope that they change things.
Well, you know what hope is, right?
Yeah,
When Obama kept saying it, I looked it up. It's a goal without a plan.
Yeah. and that's what the state of Florida is, basically.
Suzanne had some.
Oh, go ahead, Suzanne. Oh, no.
No, I was just gonna ask, is there any legislation that we know of that's being proposed?
Not right now. It's all been put on hold. They don't want to touch it.
The places down the street, the green ones,
Are they in bankruptcy?
no, but they're $1,000
Because they were 7 something.
maintenance
a couple
fees.
years
Yeah,
ago.
they're 1,000. We looked them up the other day because we're thinking, how could we stay here in this area? And so
So
we
this is
looked
the
at the
big, this is
prices.
a broader issue. This is
One of the mobile home parks up the road, if you're on the water, your fee is $2,000 a month.
Holy cow!
Well, that's for a mobile.
I mean, we're not the only place that's getting hit with this.
No.
It's
So
a broad-
we've been lucky that we've been able to manage it the way we have.
What is?
2,000.
What is
Trailer
that?
park over here.
Yeah, that's
that's
Dan was saying. Yeah, and then you
If
probably
you're
got to
on
rent
water,
your
Yeah, but if
property.
you're not, it's 14. So.
18.
Not just here.
Now they've given us like a 30-year plan.
Yeah.
Who is they?
The state,
The engineer.
The engineer,
They were required.
according to the state statutes, what they had to do. They have given us like a 30-year plan. And we could tell you what they're looking for every year for the next 30 years.
Things that have to be replaced or repaired.
They
Based
look-
on.
Is that based on
life cycle.
your study? Is that
Yes,
specific to
yes,
us?
based on that study.
So
And-
does this industry have a lobbyist? Like someone who's sitting up there and driving?
We have the CAL.
CAI.
CAI is a group we belong to that,
And they do have a lobbyist. They have a lobbyist here in Tallahassee. They also have many lobbyists in Washington.
Because boy, this sure sounds like a much broader problem than us.
It is. It is a very
I mean,
large problem.
what
in the
happened, that
entire
building,
state.
that building collapsed. And typical government just says, okay, this is what we're doing for everybody. Not even looking at what everybody is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a building here. Ours are 4 at the highest, but they're not built anything like that one. And that one, the major reason they found out now is the pool was on the roof, and the pool was leaked down through and rusted the rebars out.
Okay.
That's why it collapsed.
Well, of course.
Yes, but we don't have that. But they don't. The state didn't care. They just put everybody in a one big blanket and said,
Yeah.
"This is what you're going to do."
That's why I was asking about.
What does that CAI stand for? Condos.
Community Association Institute, and it's an international organization now. They're
I can give you a magazine, Allison. We get them every month. I could give it to you.
Really? I'd like to look into it.
They have classes quarterly now here
Matter of
in
fact,
Charlotte County that people are able to go
We
to.
got Julie.
Could
Um,
renew,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of education involved,
Yeah,
but
she's-
they do actively work. You have a team called FLAW that's with CAI. It's called the Florida Legislative Alliance. And it has a representative from every county from out throughout the state. They meet once a month in Orlando. So they are, and that is comprised of so many managers, so many attorneys, so many
Are
CPAs.
we in that at all?
We are, yes, we
Yes,
are.
we are. Our association is.
The association is, as well as I am.
You don't see it, it comes to the board now.
Yeah, right.
So
Boy, does it come.
CAI is
Yeah.
actively working on behalf of the association. But you are absolutely right. This is bigger than just Florida.
Well, half of New York is gonna come down here now, so hopefully somebody's gonna figure something out. Because
But I mean, I manage another association that is 3 stories. One area is 4, small in Punta Gorda, Isles on a canal. They're under the SERS as well, and they're reserved. So they also are, right at the $1,000 a month as well.
So again, I'm this is us talking in the kitchen here, right? Like it's not. So is there anything we
You
should
cut off
be
the
doing?
44.
Pardon?
Well, is there anything we should be doing that we're not doing? Like it's easy to say the government's doing this and that, and we're downstream and pull us, right? But and we have representation at the state level.
And we did individually, we put out a letter and emailed it to everybody, asked everybody to sign it and send it to their legislature.
Yeah, right.
That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we
believe
did
me,
that. We went ahead and did that.
Yeah.
I have no idea how many people signed it and sent it in.
Yeah, right.
My guess is not many.
Everybody in building 8 did, I know. We all.
But basically that's about all you can do.
and if you know a legislator, both the House or the Senate, and
Talk to 'em.
get them cornered and talk to them and say, hey, look this is what it's doing to me and the friends that I have here where I live.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and if they feel compelled, they may take it under their wing to move it forward.
So if we shift the conversation a tiny bit, and we say, okay, this is happening all above us and around us, the likelihood that we're gonna jump on the white horse, charging the night to get this fixed is slim to none.
Right.
And so, but we can control who we're subcontracting to, what the bids are, and if it's not perfect, maybe we don't look for perfection, we're looking for a cost. There's a difference between love and money, right? We're talking money. And so, do we think that we have, and I'm offering to help, by the way, do we think that we have all these 9 categories that are overspent, a plan for every one of them, and looking at the last 2 or 3 years and seeing is there certain ones that are constantly increasing over the years? And should we have some kind of a plan to even if you can't reduce it, cap it for the next few years? That's the only thing we can control, right? Is what we spend. And what we
Exactly.
hire, right? And I know this is controversial, but it's the 21st century. I'm not sure I've talked to a human online in the last 6 months, right? Are there areas that we can offset humans or automation and just do an exploratory? What if that comes back with a 40% reduction in cost? Should we do that? I'm happy to do this, by the way, help and work with people.
Well,
we
we don't,
do that.
we don't have that many people.
we
got
talk,
9 shifts. You're covering 9 shifts.
we talk to every single vendor. We talk to every single contractor.
When I made
we
some
generally
calls,
get-
they wouldn't talk to me because they wanted you to call.
Well, that's generally how it goes. They're not going to
All
talk.
I said was
You
how
can't
much
you
it
can't
cost.
authorize them to do anything, so
I
they're not
know.
they're not.
I just said
Well, that's
how
what I'm saying.
much it cost.
They won't talk to you because of that.
Yeah, exactly.
But believe me, when we solicit pricing, when we talk to anybody that has anything to do with this property, we talk face to face.
Yeah, I'm not talking about finding a cheaper alternative for security of humans. What I'm talking is completely changing the strategy, like automating the entire thing. And I'm saying, what if we did an exploratory that said automating everything? And again, this is between us, right? If we said this and we took 9 shifts of humans and deleted them and we automated it all, if it's a 20% increase, betterment in cost, then we don't want to do that. But what if it was 40% or 50% and we lopped a couple, we lopped a couple $100,000 off? I'm just saying exploratory things like, was that? Is that
All right, we'll
something you
talk.
guys
I would like to talk to you about this because I'm not quite following what you're saying, but I'd like to sit down and talk with you about that. And if there's something there, we're willing to implement anything.
Yeah, and I'm happy to go get the data,
You know.
right? It doesn't, we don't have to talk to anybody else and worry everybody. It's just, let's just take a look at
Yeah, we can do that.
it. All right,
We can
I'm
do that.
happy to do that.
Well, Danny, you have already taken a look at an electric gate,
Yeah,
instead
we've
of
looked at the,
drive-on
and
duties.
it was a lot of money. Again, this is kicking the can down the road a little bit. We have one more big project. Well, we have two more big projects coming up. We have Harborview Road, and now they want to put a sidewalk from 41 to Harborview. And when they came across our property, they just wanted us to sign the paper and let it go. And I turned it over to our eminent domain lawyer who's handling Harborview Road. And even though that's not his project and they're not assigning lawyers to that project right now, which he says they're supposed to, he said, I'm going to look at that for you. And then he gave it to their engineering and he said, no, don't sign this because they're encroaching on your property. They're going to take some of your trees down. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. So he said, you should send him a letter. I said, can you write up the letter? He said, I'd be happy to. So he wrote up a really intense letter. I signed it. We sent it off telling him, no, we don't want you here on our property doing that. We're not okaying that. Come back with a better plan. Haven't heard from him. The Harborview Road project, which is the big project, is really going to affect us. If it affects our gate as much as we think it will, there's no sense in spending a lot of money at this gate now because you can't transfer it over there. You spend it here, it's going to sit here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I said when I said kicking the can down the road, we're just kind of waiting. This project's been in effect for 6 years. I've been sitting, looking at it.
Yeah.
And
But that might be the time to change strategy.
that's the time that we're looking at changing over
Right.
that section because I think it should be on Melbourne.
Yeah.
We don't have the money to put it out there at Melbourne. We're trying to
I
get,
like your idea is that don't mess around with this. 'cause
no,
that's happening.
well, that's the way we've been looking at everything.
We have
And,
to switch to Melbourne, that's the time to switch over to
Exactly, that might get you $100,000.
Go ahead.
I appreciate
Well-
all the
John.
work you guys do, by the way. When was the last increase? I mean, we've only been here.
We didn't increase it last year.
Okay.
So remember that. We didn't increase it last year.
Yeah, that was hard.
The year before that, it was increased.
So in
We were 992 for 2 years,
2024, it was the last increase.
and
And
1,069
what was
for
that?
that.
Pardon?
And what was that?
Oh, I can't tell you off the top of my
What
head.
the,
What was the increase in 20?
we had, when we came in 22, 600, we went to 708, then we went to 992, and we were there for 2 years.
Yeah,
So we went from 708 to 992.
Yep.
Approximately when?
2 years.
2024.
20.
That was after Hurricane.
23.
And we went from 600 to 708 in what?
From 22 to 23. We were 622, because that's when I came on board.
And that's when we got hit with Ian.
So
Ian, it happened that
2022, we
even-
were
yeah.
That happened that year.
2023, we were 708. 2024, we were 992.
So what's that percentage?
And
year over year?
2026. Well, I can't quite. figure
No,
it
no,
out.
because as you're talking, I'm thinking, like, but we
I
thought
didn't
20% a
bring my
year. Yeah.
And now we're going to 1177.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just kind of wondering where we've been. I realize all that.
And the big jump, what the big jump is for this year is because Florida statutes said we had to hire an engineer to do the Sears study.
Primarily, most of this has been driven from hurricanes and insurance for the last 5-6 years.
Prior to the building collapse, that's what's causing the big problem.
Regulation.
Prior to that, it was insurance was the major jump,
Right.
mainly flood insurance.
But all of you should have received something from Charlotte County Utilities. If you haven't, I'll get a scan out to all of you. Those rates are gonna go up for water and sewer. FPL was approved the highest rate in the history of any utility back in October. So those are items that we have no control over. It is what it is. So you asked about things that we could do. If you're out washing your car, don't leave the hose running. If you see water spigots on, shut them off. If you see something that we haven't noticed, let us know so we can get it repaired. Irrigation lines, things along those lines. This summer, we had somebody hit the back spigot where the maintenance shed is out in the storage area, left it, didn't tell anybody till somebody happened to come across it. Nobody, of course,
Water
admitted
just
that they
spraying
did-
all over the
Yeah.
place.
We had to
So
get a
you-
plumber.
So, you know, as you're talking, we've been here 19 years, in February. And I was wondering, we seem to have a whole lot more renters. People rent. Do we know exactly how many people are renting versus living here and owning?
Well, we do.
They know all the rules and the stuff you're talking about and who to go to.
Well, the owner is supposed to tell them and is supposed to give them a copy of the rules and regulations.
So I was thinking about that, yeah.
I think we should
You gotta inspect
have,
what you
have
expect.
more of
right?
those rules
Yeah.
and regulations printed out, because I've been here 14 years and I never got a copy of the rules and regulations when I moved in.
We've reissued them a couple times.
And they probably changed over the years, right?
But I'm saying,
Yeah.
'Cause I've been here
I don't know why you
14
wouldn't
years.
have one because they've been reissued several times.
And Dennis,
And you can always stop at the office and pick up a copy.
But I think the onus is on the owner. But
Yeah,
if the
it
owner's
is.
gonna
Sure.
rent, it's up to you
No,
to
you're
give
right.
them the
Yes.
rules,
Yeah.
because I'm not paying for you.
And there are, there are a
So,
lot.
In you guys' best opinion, this price, this cost has doubled in 4 years. Do you expect to do that in the next 4 years?
It depends on what, I mean, I don't remember the number that,
We
the
went from
engineer came
600 to
back.
1176.
no, I understand what you're saying. I understand that.
You
What I'm
think
trying to
we'll be
tell
paying
you
2,400,
is-
2030?
You won't let me finish. I'm trying to tell you. We got a study from this engineering company, and in that engineering report, what they want is listed for the next 30 years. We don't know what we are going to raise it, or if we even have to raise it, because costs go up. When we heard about electric's going up 6%, this going up, we called every utility. Barb called them all and found out exactly what our cost was, so we could put it in the budget, not make a guess and try to do it that way. That way, that's how your budget fails. But as far as it going up, we could tell you what it's going to go up according to the Sears study, but we have no idea what our costs are going to be. You're sitting in a property that's over 40 years old.
Yeah.
Things don't last. The hot tub went down because the tile were falling off.
It's open.
It's open. Yeah, we just opened
We
it.
can open.
It's open. So
Now, I just want to let you know, it's still going to be a little gritty. The chemicals are perfect. The grit will eventually get vacuumed up, but we can open the spout.
it is open.
So,
Our waterfall, by us, it's
The waterfalls we're working on. We're not dealing with the company that put them in originally anymore. We found out,
It's out. It's
we
out of water.
called the manufacturer, and you can't buy parts directly. It has to go through a third party. They suggested us a place in Naples and a place on the East Coast, and they highly recommended us going to the place on the East Coast. We just ordered up the parts that we need, that we think we need. It's got a splice in it. And when the other one went down, it had 2 splices in it. And when we pulled that out, there was water in the splices. The splices weren't installed right. We bought the splice. We're buying the splice kit. The splice kit's $230. So we're going to take the splice that's on this one off and put a new one on and hope that that's what's blowing the breaker. We took it all out, we hosed them all out, cleaned them all down. We're redoing, like the lights on the one that's out here are flickering.
Yeah, what's up with it? It's like-
There's bad bulbs in there. So what we decided, the bulbs are 5 years old. We're changing all the bulbs out. Well, that's $100 and some for the bulbs. But you don't go out there and change. You have to bring it in to change it. And it's a big pain to bring it in. So while we got it in, we're going to go over the whole thing and change things out. These are costs that, you don't expect, but you have to do.
So one last thing, and I'll be quiet. So from 2022 to 2030, if that were to continue, that would be a 400% increase over 8 years. That's 50% a year. So you're saying that would line up with, probably line up with a 15% ceiling on the increase?
No, because certain things are taken out of that don't apply to the 15%. There's a couple of things that, pardon?
Would that fit into that 15% ceiling that much? A 400% increase, and you're saying 85% of that is?
It's only because the state is telling us we have to do this. It's not us coming up with this idea.
No, I know. I'm just asking you.
So this,
what do you think? Is it going to continue?
It'll continue rising. We're hoping not.
I understand that.
We're hoping not as much as it did.
Right.
And we kept it from rising way more than it was supposed to. Now we feel, we're confident that we're doing it the right way.
So what if, let's just think, so what I'm struggling with, right, we're all struggling.
50%.
What if the only levers we control are non-government things, right? Like it's the only thing we can control. And we're gonna nickel and dime it, right? Because when you look at it.
And the things we control are not going to drop the fees
That's
that
what I'm
much.
saying. However, what if we sold the place? What if we put this up for sale?
I can give you a couple letters. We've gotten a couple letters in on selling this place.
In order to
Is
sell,
there-
you need
You
100%.
need 100% of people, and there can be no mortgages. If there's a bank mortgage, you can't sell.
So I don't know who's got mortgages.
Quite a
There
few.
are
I was
some.
surprised. There's quite a few.
So it has to be 0 mortgages.
It has to be 0 mortgages and then 100%
So
vote
we can't
of the
build
whole
a new
entire place.
building. So-
But we've had offers coming in on this place. They'll buy the whole place for $500,000.
I'll do that.
We've gotten 2 offers from companies.
And that's too.
You don't do that. You don't do.
So we can't build. And
We can't build and we can't, no.
And the government, we don't really have a lobbyist, like, they may get the lobby.
We have another if come. If our density units are sold,
What is it, which is that?
pardon?
I don't know what a density.
The density units are the units that we got because we aren't building 4 more buildings. Those 4 more buildings are worth, they're so many people, basically, it's a density type thing.
Yep.
Another contractor, another developer, we have them sitting basically in an account at the county.
Yep.
I think there's 53,
54.
54. And they're sitting there. And if a contractor, a developer buys them, let's say like now, but Bucky's bought up some land down there. He's going to build because they got tons of money.
Mhm.
But there's supposed to be, 4,000 houses, couple condos down there. Well, if they build the condos, there's a height limit, say, 6 stories. With our density units, if they bought our density units, because ours are water density units, because we're on the water, they could raise that to whatever they want, basically.
Yep.
But they could go to like nine stories.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's 4
So-
Myers.
So we're, but again, they want them for nothing.
Yeah, right.
We won't do that. We had them sold, but the guy bailed on the one.
So I think the important thing is what you said. We're looking for alternatives that are not just about just hack away as much as we can of our cost.
Yeah.
We're looking at all these alternatives.
Hacking away at our cost is not really going to do anything,
Oh, it is.
right?
Danny, I've asked the question many times from various people. How do we compare if Star Management, I don't have no idea how many condos,
They have 150,
Whatever
they have 150
manage.
associations.
how do we compare to others in their setup? Or do we ever have the opportunity to work with them? Is every other condo got the same damn problem? I think they have. But, you know, we try to act like we're the only ones got this problem.
Yeah,
We
no,
don't.
we don't. I can get you, I'm sure we can
It's
get
a
it from Star.
universal problem that the cost of living.
I've talked to the
going
owner.
up.
I've talked to the owner of Star, Sherry Danko, and she said one time when we were sitting there talking, and she said, "You ought to see my other condos." She manages 150 associations, and she said they're all having the same problem,
You damn right. they
and some of them are worse than we. Some of them are worse than we are.
I have 4. I'm here 3 days a week. But lately I've been here almost every day, but the others I go to. Only one other is comparable to you. It's the one I mentioned in Punta Gorda. Everybody's getting hit with this service
Same
report. Everybody is.
Sure.
I mean, at Colony Point, which is on the point out there, they got slammed big time.
That's why I asked about,
I mean,
representation.
and they've been there for many, many years, right on the water. And they got slammed. They got special assessed, just a basic special assessed 2 years ago, each unit for $12,500 just to make it for the year, on top of what they were paying. Because there's only 21 on each, so there's 63 units. The fees came in. They're on the water as well. They have a dock.
So if we have a plan, an overall plan, this is a big umbrella. Obviously, we always have to drive our own costs down if we control, period, and the second part is, we gotta find a way to deal with this, with the state of Florida, because they're killing everybody. And
There's your first project.
Yeah.
exactly, because if there's that one goddamn building collapse in Miami, wherever that was, everybody pays more. And it sounds like control our costs, drive it, don't allow 9 things to be overspent. Figure out why, control them, and flatten it out every year. And the second thing is get to the government and get connected to it, which I'm happy to like figure this shit out, right? And try to control some of this, even though
I do want to address one of your questions for the over the spending.
yeah.
When it comes to the sprinkler system and the elevators, that also has to do with the state and the new laws and the new guidelines that come into place, because your equipment here is outdated. So you're at this level, the new laws as they've implemented are here. So now you have to bring this up, and that explains some of your overages right there. Again, it's not something that you were neglectful. It's not like you neglected maintenance issues. It's the fact that you've got a piece of equipment and it does not meet the standards.
I didn't think of that.
So think about where you are there. And now I just want to tout your 3 guys that work for you part-time. We got a quote in on another piece of equipment in our building, and the guy sent this quote in, and he says, you need this, this, and this. And we went to Kenny and Jamie and Chip and said, this doesn't make sense. They met with Denny. Chip and Kenny called him and said, this is crazy. And now we're going to be able to do that for a fraction of what they originally.
See, I like that idea though.
So
Don't
I,
just open your mouth and drink.
you know,
I like what you did.
so this is why I'm saying some of the overages were things that we couldn't control.
See, that discipline is important, right?
See, we get inspected once a year by all these things.
Yeah.
And they come in and say, especially the sprinkler system guy come in and said, you're going to get your annual inspections coming up, and you're going to get hammered this year because this is out of date, this is out of date, this is out of date. You've gotten by with the last 5 years because now they're implementing it. And now, so those dates come up, we have to change things. Example, the doors. We have to do the doors by June. By June
1st.
Or what happens?
They'll fail you.
They'll fail you.
What happens if they fail you? Pay the
Fines.
bill, or they fine you?
They'll probably fine you.
Because if it's not about money, who cares, right?
Oh, it's always about money. It's always about money.
So those are the things that I just want you to kind of keep in mind. The average increase for your basic line items, your contracts that you have, the basic line items was anywhere from 3 to 4%.
So this has to be forecasted, right?
So that's, I mean, just so you would know that the
That
basic
exposure.
line items was 3 to 4%.
So a budget line item would have to be that exposure, right? That says we could expect, because of that situation you're talking about,
Right.
an increase in 20% over our budget if these things fail and we have to fix them. That has to be a budget line item.
And that's why you
Otherwise,
can't,
it's a surprise.
and that's why you can't keep every budget line item as tight as it possibly can be, because when that goes over, you need money from the ones that are a little bit high
Yeah.
to take care of that.
No, that's what you do with the budget.
That's what we did.
Well, that's why too, you can't so hard to sell. You know, if you get on YouTube, iTunes or anything, you know, YouTube, and it shows all this stuff that we're talking about, what they keep doing to all the, and people are just not wanting to buy. And you can't, it's hard for them. And it's a shame because if you go rent a place, how much you gonna pay there?
The thing is,
17, 18, and
Yeah.
2,000.
you
know?
can't go, you can leave here and go anywhere around here like this, like on the water like we have.
Yeah.
You're not going to find a place that's got this much land and this much
Oh,
property.
and that's the truth. This
But if
place
you
is
want to go
beautiful.
cheaper, go to the center of Florida.
But the
That's
thing
the only
is,
thing you can
can't
do.
sell. I mean, that's what I'm just saying.
Oh,
It's
you can
just a
sell it.
shame.
You can always sell.
Oh, well, those people are having a hard time.
I'll give you
selling.
$100,000
Or they
right
sell
now for yours.
120,000. Isn't that a shame?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can always sell if you want to sell cheap. And I don't think people should be selling cheap. They should be hanging out. Because if you take, like some of the people you've seen, some of the places what the prices went for, somebody sold one over here for $80,000. If they would have sat on that, you could have sat on that, paid the higher fees for 2 years, and gotten way more than your money back.
That's what I tell people.
You just sit on it.
Wait, you know?
But
But-
that was a death in the family.
Yeah.
The children were fighting.
And the
You had
children
a
wanted
couple of
money.
the children, they wanted their money, and they wanted it now.
They could care less.
Well, they could care less. If I get $20,000, great. And that's the way it was. You know.
And so that, I think your last, that
But-
was the
but
other sale. Was
the-
it the
the
tech
real-
building that
yeah.
it went the same thing? It was real cheap. The
Right.
people had died. The
Usually when it
families,
goes
so-
cheap, it's usually an estate sale, and then it
But
goes
not
down.
necessarily. You know, 120,000 is very cheap for their apartment upstairs in our building. And he's paid over 250,000 for that. Plus he put all kinds of money in it. But he just
Right.
wanted out of here because he found someplace else, you know.
Well, if he
House.
found someplace else, and that's, you know, if he's
You know,
willing
but
to sell cheap,
I'm
that's up
just
to
saying,
him.
It's just a shame because this place is
But
beautiful.
you
It's
can't,
not
you can't go anywhere around here.
No, I agree with
Be
that.
by water, cheaper than, you know, you might find something a little cheaper than what we have. But if you want to go cheap and keep your maintenance fees down, you got to go to the middle of Florida.
Go to Arcadia.
Speaking of water, since we can't see it, is there any kind of timeline of when the docks are gonna be finished?
The timeline on the docks is they're planning on having all the piers done. I've been out there. They've got piers in all the way out to where the boats were. The old ones are gone, the new ones are in. You don't see that activity because they get pulled, set on a barge, and taken across the river. The contractor rented a lot on the other side, and I'm really happy with that because all those trucks and that would be coming through here, damaging our roads and everything else. That's not happening. He's taking it across the river and dumping it over there. The poles are in out to the dock or out to where the boats were. Okay. He's got 2 runners, 1 down each side. There's going to be 4, but he's got 2 stringers going down each side all the way out to almost to where the boat docks are. There's a transition. It's going up a foot on a long walkway, and it's going back down to a foot to where the old docks are because they can't raise them because there's slips there, unless you took all the slips out and put in new slips. And the boat owner said they wanted $18,000 a slip, and the boat owner said, no, we're not doing that. So there's rails all the way out. There's double cross members on each pole, set of poles going out. When they're done, there'll be cross braces on every other section. When you see this, you're going to be amazed at how heavy duty this thing is. All the wood is 3-inch thick. I mean, it's just amazing. They're planning on having all the poles out by January, all the new stuff in by February, and the dock turned over to us by the end of March. He said he's they wanted to get in here in the summer because of the tides, because of permitting and that we were going round and round with. They expected 4 months for permitting, and it took a lot longer. They started in September. He says because of the low tides, the winter tides, he can't get to shore because the water's too shallow for the barge. The barge can't come in. He's got one pole in on our beach property. He's got to have about 3 more, I think, but he can't get in here because the water level's too low. And he said he's about, well, what he told me last time I talked with him, he said he was about 7 weeks behind because the low tide, because he can't get in there to do something. But as soon as he can't do any piling or doing with the piles, he takes the crew and starts putting on rafters and stringers going out. So they're constantly doing something. The machines broke down. They got a brand new machine, but it broke down. It blew a bearing when they were offloading over on the across the river. It took him, he had to get a new bearing. It took him, he thought he'd have the bearing and have it back in within 13 days.
Do we have a contract that says if you miss this date,
No.
you owe me 10%?
No, because there's no way you could do that.
Yeah.
They can't, with Florida weather and hurricane, there's no way you can. The only thing I wanted was, I made sure it was in the contract, if we get hit by a hurricane and you're halfway through it, you start over.
Yeah.
It don't cost us a penny.
Yeah, good.
So that's the only thing that we could control. They can't control the weather. They said, no, that's on us. If we get hit, we just have to start.
Point, right?
All right. So right now, the date, it's been moved out a month for the last couple of times. But right now the date is the end of March. It should be opened up for us. We should have it. Now he's bringing a second barge in, and he's going to keep that here until all the piling is done. Then they only need one to work around everything else. But if he brings in another barge and they can start working together to pick up the time he's lost, that's what he's planning to do. He's bringing a second barge in.
Do we know when the gym will be ready?
The gym, the equipment I ordered up a few weeks ago, I asked the guy if he could have it here by Christmas. The flooring we put in, which I only saw over the phone, turned out not to be the good flooring I wanted. We took all that flooring out, and we're getting new flooring. I don't want to bring the equipment in, obviously, until the flooring's down. They're trying to find enough flooring. We've got 41 boxes. We need 62, I think. And he says, you want me to put down part of it? I said, no. When it gets here, it's a one-day job. You get here, put it in, down. I was hoping for Christmas. I was hoping sometime in January. I'm pushing them.
Where's that at?
What's that?
Anderson House.
The Anderson House. We repurposed the Anderson House. Most people didn't know what the Anderson House
Came
looked
out
like.
nice.
Yeah, thank you.
I couldn't believe how big it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Most people did not know what that building was like.
Yeah,
That was a 4-bedroom house with a living room, dining room, but you only saw the office and the library. That's all you saw. The rest of it was back bedrooms and bathrooms. Yeah. So we've now made a big gym. The gym is bigger than the gym that was in the other place. We added a rec room. The pool table is now in there. We have a rec room, but the pool table is in the rec room. The gym will just have gym equipment. We have we went back to a small library where it's going to be bring a book, take a book.
Even though nobody,
Is it
nobody
open
reads
now?
physical.
No, that's not. We got the shelving in last week, I think it was. We got to anchor the shelving to the wall, and then we'll have them. I think Tony and
Ed Schwartz.
or Ed and his wife are going to take over watching over the library.
Because I've got 4 boxes.
Yeah, we have a bunch of books to donate. Can we do that?
Well, I'll let you know as soon as we have the shelves mounted that we can do it. I'll get a hold of Ed and find out what he wants to do. He's going to handle that. We've got 5 racks of shelving, and if we need, we got wall space for about 3 more. If it goes bigger than what we think. Most people are reading off an iPad or something. Very seldom people hold books in their hands. I personally like to hold a book, but A lot of people just do it on their computer, off an iPad or an
Many
e.
kids don't even know what a physical book is.
Yeah. So,
We don't have a lot of kids in here.
you know, we took 38 cases of books to the Salvation or Goodwill. We would have kept them, but nobody we had no place to put them. We asked everybody if they'd take a case or two, and nobody wanted to do that. So we got rid of them. We took over, I think, 20 or 25 boxes of games, puzzles and games that we just had no place to go. This place was filled with stuff for a month until we got the trailer in here, and then we said we had to get this opened up because functions are going to start happening here. So it's coming, it's slow, I understand, but I think you're going to really like what we've done.
But I mean, overall.
So Denny, I think I missed your answer, but when is the gym opening? You kind of talked about it, but you never really gave an estimated date.
You're right, I didn't.
We don't know.
I don't have a date. I don't want, right now, we haven't paid the contractor, so we really don't own it. Okay. I don't want people walking in there and walking around. We do have a chair with a ribbon across it, just so people, if they're coming to the office, you don't go back there and walk around. If I get a better handle, I got to talk with the contractor, find out what his handle is on the flooring, and then I haven't pushed getting the equipment in because there's no sense of bringing equipment in. Then you can't put the flooring down. So you got to put the flooring down first and then put the equipment on top of that. I didn't bug him because we don't have the floor. As soon as I get a handle on the flooring, I'll bug him and get a handle on that. Or if obviously it hasn't come in because he hasn't called me to bring it over. So, and I'm sure they don't want to keep it. There's 6 pieces of equipment coming in. But I think on a whole, you're really like it. We're going to have a really nice maintenance shop for Kenny and the guys.
And it's going to be at the Anderson House?
Yes. The Anderson House was a 3-car garage. That's where the gym was. We're turning that back into a shop.
Okay.
We'll have a garage door in the middle and then the shop. We've been working in there, Dennis Reed, myself, and the maintenance guys. We're doing that ourselves to keep the cost down. It's cheaper to pay the maintenance guys than it is to have a contractor come in. So
Dennis is free.
Yeah. So we're
So is Denny.
It's coming along good. We are going to, because we're finding out we have some Jamie, the newest guy, is really handy. He's an old HVAC person, air conditioner, and electrician. And that's why you're seeing us doing projects. The fountain project. It's a hell of a lot cheaper for us to do it
For sure.
than it is to have somebody come in here. We used to get just a show-up call from that other company. It was $180 just to walk in the gate. So we're doing it. Might take a little longer, but it's going to be cheaper. And that's all everybody cares about is how much are we spending. So we're trying to keep everything down, and that's by utilizing them guys more and more. It's working out really well. We got a price right now because, as going back to what the sprinkler system, the electrical system in this place here feeds out of that room and also feeds the pump, the pool. We're over amperaging that system. In order to change that, we got one price in, $30,000.
Yeah.
These are things we can't do. We don't have the money. Talking with Jamie, and he says we can do it. I'm not quite sure yet. He says we can do it, but it's going to be a big undertaking. Okay, John, I think it is
Bob. I have a 1960s model 45 record jukebox that used to work just fine, but doing a couple of those today, it's out of tune and it's not quite working.
Is that a Wurlitzer? Or?
Yeah.
Wow.
And if anyone knows somebody around here that could come and look at that thing, or we can get it tuned up, I'm willing to pay the bill to get it fixed and donate it to this place for future places, so you don't need to hire a DJ or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we can't use that out in the parking lot, obviously, but, the new rec room is gonna be a rec room, game room type place. Right now we have a pool table. We're gonna bring the poker table over there. They used to always play poker over there. We're gonna put that back over there permanently.
Oh, I got a slide hockey table too. but-
I heard you did. I wanted to take a look at that. That might be, if you're willing to donate that.
I probably would be, but not
Yeah.
quite yet.
All right.
Whoever wins gets it for free. You gotta beat him.
But I'd like to, if someone knows somebody that I looked on and I tried, couldn't get a hold of someone to come look at it
Yeah.
around the area.
Especially down here. It's tough.
I mean, it's probably better down here than where I came from. I was
Okay.
Up in New York or New Jersey or someplace like that, they probably find someone.
Well, the Wurlitzer factor was up where I used to live in New York. But,
Whatever, it's out there,
okay.
I'd certainly like to get it over, but if anyone has a clue where I can get someone to look at it.
Okay. Ray.
Dennis, last week, I got a letter in the mail, and I assume everybody else got, from some real estate agent talking about all the information she had to show and how cheap these things were selling for.
That's
How
Lisa.
did she come up with that, all our addresses and all that information?
She has been coming here for a long time. She
Well,
used to
we
promote
stopped it at
herself.
one time, a few years ago.
She used to promote herself as the only real estate agent for Rose Landing. And we made sure, not me, the board that was on at the
Yeah.
time, made sure that that was taken down, and she wasn't doing that. She just sent out one now, Christmas, this, that, the other thing, and then just showing how the sales were. But the one prior to that, she was complaining about it, telling everybody this is what should happen and this is why you're doing it. And I was tempted to send that to her attorney because I don't believe she can do that. She got our name. Your
It's
name?
public record. Once you close, everything has to be recorded. So for every address, you can literally just pull it up and it will tell you everything about your property, how many sales. It'll give the whole history on the property. So for right now, that she'll put in the lot block strap.
That's where she got that.
It's
Yeah.
public
Not
record.
from us.
No,
No, not
Not
from
from
us.
us.
We don't give out to anybody.
It'll do it for you.
and it does it right for you.
Yeah.
And she'll download it onto a spreadsheet.
Believe me, we do not give out any information on any person here.
Good.
Okay, everything here stays in, but public knowledge, you can go and get all the information you want.
But basically what happens if somebody calls and wants something from one of the residents, I'll ask for their name and telephone number, and then I tell them I will reach the resident. If they're interested, they'll contact you. So this way it's protected. I mean, that's how I operate. So just to give you a little bit of knowledge.
The gate does the same thing.
Yeah.
For people coming in.
The gates have been stopping quite a few people trying to get in. And they give them an answer, and the gatekeeper doesn't like that, and he just says, "No, sorry, you can't come in."
Yeah, change subject a little bit. A few years ago, we had a process whereby if somebody violated one of our bylaws and whatever the rules are, and we would have a committee that would say, "You violated this," and we'd have another team that said, "You owe us $1,500 or whatever the fee was," and the state of Florida backed us.
Yeah, it's a
And
fine.
We
We
used
have
it a couple times.
we have a fining committee. Yes,
So we still have it.
yes, you were on it.
Yeah, I was on it. That's why I haven't been invited to it so long. I'm thinking there's no way to.
We haven't used it in
We
quite a
haven't
while.
had
Have not in our
Yeah.
term.
Yeah.
We've thought about using it a couple times.
Because I was thinking about all these renters. If it was 10% renting, and all of a sudden it's 30% renting, they don't give a shit. They because they don't know it, right? So
Oh, what's happening is people can't sell their units, so they decide let's rent it,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
the way to go. At least you got money to come in. I mean, if you look at rents around, that's a problem. That's what happened to Sunseekers. People that were working there didn't live here because they couldn't afford to rent. They were driving an hour in to go work.
Right.
You have these kinds of problems all over the place.
I think in general, like I said, Linda and I were talking, this is very well run, right? This place is very beautiful, it's always kept up, but we're talking about money. And how do we control the state and everybody else that's trying their strategy, trying us our.
And you can't keep this place looking nice cheap.
Right.
It costs money to keep this place looking nice.
You can't not do it.
No, you can't. You're talking about property values. You start letting the place fall apart, and your property values, sink.
Yes,
You know.
right now.
Just doing what we did over at the Anderson house is going to raise property value.
Yes, sir, yeah.
Because now, when they go to sell, whatever realtor you use, they're going to come in and look at a nice big gym, brand new. You're going to be looking in the rec room.
Has his pool. That would be good.
Yeah. So, I mean, these things add property value, but now that it's there, it has to be maintained. Okay.
I am gonna find, but you mind if I stop by your office and just learn a little bit more about the state thing, cause,
Do it tomorrow.
tomorrow,
Well, I'm only here till noon tomorrow and I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's gotta be-
booked. Can you come by on Friday?
I get up at 4 a.m. I can do it.
My cat would be very upset.
Right.
She has to be fed. It's the two of them have to be fed at 6 o'clock.
I'll swing by on Friday because I just wanna learn as much as I can learn too, so the way I can help out.
Right.
I'm not a lawyer and I have nothing to do with state, but.
I think one of the things, my recommendation for you is to research SIRS. It's relatively new. I've been doing
Spell that?
SIRS.
Alright. Yeah.
And research that. We have the book.
Yeah.
You can look at it. And I think for knowledge wise, if you spend some time looking at that, you'll see what Harold, Denny, and I were up against and what we had to do in order to keep your fees minimal.
I'll read that first.
No,
Before I give
it's,
you, I'll read that.
Quite thick.
But
Thick one.
there's a lot to
Nine
it.
pages.
But do some research on that. But I will be in on Friday.
Search.
So
I think-
I've got one appointment in the
Because if
morning,
we end
but
up with actions and someone has to go to the state, kick their ass or whatever, I'm happy to do this, right?
Right.
But I will read this and I'll meet,
And I have
We got the
spoken
SIRS book up at the office. It's like 90 pages long.
yeah.
We don't print it out for everybody because
Well, what I'm gonna do.
Costs a
in
lot of money to
21st
print paper.
century, I'm gonna ask AI to tell me, how do I control the shares? Like AI is gonna tell me.
I'd like to see the answer.
It's probably right.
all right, I'd like to adjourn. Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
sounds like a plan.
We're off and running. We're done, everybody.
This was really good.
Take it.
Appreciate this. Nice to meet you. I'll see you Friday, right?
Yep, I'll be there
Thank you.
Friday.
Appreciate it.
You have the list of dates, the new fees, new maintenance fees. What was ours?
Ours 11:47.
I know.
So 77.
11:77.
I know.
Here it is.
Well, I was just asking because she wants to know what she's got to pay. And Janice said, yeah, let me know too.
They should have this.
I'm telling you, dude.
You have it
You have this on your
electronically.
11:77 is ours. 11:42.
I think they said you needed.
Oh, piece of paper to write that.
I know I'm gonna forget it. What? Just a little corner.
You can give it the whole, you can give it that whole page, because I don't.